Good evening. Welcome to the regular meeting of the Mayor and City Council of the City of College Park. I'm Mayor Bianca Motley Broom. We have a quorum present with Council members McKenzie, Karn, and Gay this evening. And so I'll call the meeting to order at 7:33 p.m., subject to my continuing objections to Ordinance 2024-01 and the omnibus motion that this body passed the first week of January. Our first item is the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Our invocation's been handled by Chaplain Stewart this evening.
Sorry?
Our invocation's being handled by Chaplain Stewart this evening.
Okay. Then Chaplain Stewart, please come forward.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council.
Evening.
Let us pray. Most Holy Father, we give you glory for this day that you have blessed us to see as we represent the kingdom of heaven. Thank you for the leaders of this great city, our mayor, city council, city manager, and department heads. We are appreciative of the love that is shown in their desire to serve and become servant leaders focused on enhancing the lives of the citizens of College Park. Please strengthen this governing body and endow them with wisdom and grace as they make decisions concerning our city. Keep their hearts pure and their eyes focused on you as they work in the best interests of the people that they are called to serve. Anoint them with your Holy Spirit and speak to them in the quiet moments as well as in the times of confusion. Please continue to bless our employees and their families and all who work and live in this great city. Let us know, deep within our souls, that only with and through you is the victory won, and only through your power is our city made whole. In the name of Jesus we pray. Amen.
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 Mayor, the next item on the agenda is the civility pledge being given by Police Chief Rogers.
Good evening, Mayor and Council, residents of College Park. Please listen with an open heart as I read our civility pledge. The way we govern ourselves is often as important as the positions we take. Our collective decisions would be better when differing views have had the opportunity to be fully vetted and considered. All people have the right to be treated with respect, courtesy, and openness. We value all input. We commit to conduct ourselves at all times with civility and courtesy to each other. As we make comments tonight, please reflect on the civility pledge that was just read before you comment. Thank you.
Was that your announcement as well, Chief? Thank you.
Additions, deletions, amendments, or changes to the agenda?
Item 8E and 9C.
What would you like to have happen with those?
Remove.
Removing item 8E, which is consideration of an action on approval for members of the College Park Board of Zoning Appeals and the Planning Commission to attend the Georgia Planning Association Fall Conference.
Yes.
That conference was canceled.
And 9C, consideration of an action on a special event permit from Marcy Garner and the Oxford Walk HOA to hold a Howl and Meow pet costume party. Okay, any other additions, deletions, or, hold on, let me just get the words out of my mouth, thank you. Any other additions, deletions, amendments, or changes to the agenda?
Yes, I have one item we're going to remove off of the consent agenda, put it on the regular agenda. I believe that's item 8I. We want to remove that to the agenda.
Item 8I is consideration of an action on a request to rename the auditorium to Keith James Auditorium. Any other additions, deletions, amendments, or changes to the agenda?
Yes, there's also an agenda item I'd like to add. I have a personal proclamation that I want to add for this evening.
What is it?
This is a proclamation for our young Lieutenant Commander Willis, who's shipping off. So this is the only council meeting that we can catch him here before the end of the year. We wanted to recognize this young man and congratulate him.
Would that be in violation of ordinance 2024-01?
Madam Mayor, if, given the exigent circumstances, if the consensus of the council is to have this proclamation, I believe it would be appropriate.
Is there an exigent circumstances exception to 2024-01?
No, I'm saying, based on the exigent circumstances that the councilman just described, it would be appropriate.
Okay, so we're gonna not do 2024-01. All right. So any other additions, deletions, amendments, or changes to the agenda?
Madam Mayor, I do have one more potential change to bring to the body. I apologize to the city manager. I failed to communicate this to him. But we need to move item 5F, the National Fire Prevention Week proclamation. That's going to be moved to the event on Saturday.
Okay. All right.
Is that,
Okay.
that's going to be in your, or at your event on Saturday? Is that? Now, we've been able to present here and there, if you want to do both.
They
We
didn't
don't have
prepare a
a proclamation.
proclamation.
We don't
Oh,
have,
we don't have it. Okay, understood, okay.
I do have a point of clarification on, I believe, the proclamation that Councilman Carn is speaking in terms of is not a proclamation that's being given by the entire governing body. Is that correct?
Yeah, this is a personal proclamation.
So it doesn't fall under 2024-1. Just wanted the city attorney to be aware of that it is a proclamation. Council member, any member of the governing body can present a proclamation at any time, anywhere. However, if it's going to be from the entire governing body, it would have to be approved on the second meeting of the month, and then it could be given out at the first meeting. So this does not apply to 2024-1.
any other additions, deletions, amendments, or changes to the agenda?
Yes, City Clerk,
Yes, sir.
this additional proclamation, we're gonna replace F with that one, is that where we're gonna put it?
If that pleases the council, yes.
That's fine with me, wherever you, that makes sense, I guess. All right,
Any other additions, deletions, amendments, or changes to the agenda? Hearing none, is there a motion?
motion,
Thank you, Councilmember Carn. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember McKenzie. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
That is unanimous amongst those present. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
motion,
Thank you, Councilmember Carn. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember McKenzie. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you. That is unanimous. And prior to, Madam Clerk, going to the next agenda item, I have put out some concerns about this, as these special called meeting minutes are still incomplete. And I understand the body wants to handle them, however, they are missing a pivotal point that has been a source of contention in regard to open meetings complaints regarding the particular meeting. And so I have serious concerns if this body were to adopt minutes that were not complete. Madam
Noted.
Clerk?
Noted. The next item on the agenda is the special called meeting minutes dated August 9th, 2024.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Councilmember McKenzie. Is there a second?
second,
Thank you, Councilmember Carn. Any discussion?
Yes, I have a change on line 575. It says Councilman Carn motion to suspect when it should be suspend. So that's lines 575. Also want to make mention that even with this particular motion, that we can adopt these minutes as they are, with the understanding that if there is any additional, that can be handled at that time. It is now over 2 months since we had this meeting, and we are in danger of violating the rules and regulations for when minutes should be approved by a governing body. So it's imperative that we do move forward with these minutes at this time, and it's also important that we move forward. I'll just leave it at that.
Special call meeting minutes do not have the same issues with approving at the next meeting that regular meeting minutes do, and so I do think it is imperative that we get them right. But any further discussion?
Yes, I do, and just in response to yours, just Madam Mayor, the fact that the issue with minutes is that the longer you go with, it's 2 months, the longer you go. At the last meeting, I just want to, again, bring a point of clarification, that I questioned why we did not have these minutes available to us at our last council meeting. And we have now had 2 months to get these, whatever is supposedly or allegedly missing from these minutes. We have had more than ample opportunity. So I do not see how, if this were even to go before the Attorney General's office, that we would have a leg to stand on as to why these minutes have not been amended or revised or whatever needs to be done to fill them in. So at this point, it is imperative that we move forward.
And I would respectfully disagree with that, because I think moving forward and knowing that everything's not there is, there was an exchange between myself and Mr. Denmark that occurred that is really pivotal in terms of some of the complaints regarding open meetings, and I'm deeply troubled that that information is not in those meeting minutes because it happened. We were here. And so I do still express some grave concerns about it. But this body can do whatever this body would like to do. So any further discussion?
Yes, ma'am. The last would just be, if you recall what is missing, can you tell us at this time so that we can actually add that in? Because you're saying that there's stuff that's missing. So could you please tell us what's missing from the minutes so that we can do what you're saying as well, so that they can be correct, they can have everything that we need to have?
Councilmember McKenzie, I've stated it in both times that these meeting minutes have come up before the body. I've said it in 2 emails that there was an exchange between myself and Mr. Denmark, and I said that we were violating the Open Meetings Act by moving forward with the meeting and not allowing the public in. And Mr. Denmark replied that it was the city manager's purview to do so. That is not in these minutes, and that's an imperative part of those minutes because of the fact that we have issues over this with the Attorney General's office, and that has been my concern from the get-go.
If I may, Madam Mayor, I believe my response was that we have an obligation to maintain law and order in the chamber, and if the city manager felt that there was a threat to public safety or that basic decorum and civility was being compromised, that in those exigent circumstances he was authorized to act despite the mandates of the Open Meetings Act.
So that's why it's really important that we get those minutes right. And I believe that we haven't exhausted all the avenues to get it right, but understanding that this body can do whatever they like with it.
City Attorney,
Yes, sir.
I got 2 questions. We have the August 9th minutes in front of us here. These are all the minutes that we have to approve here. City Clerk,
Sir.
are there any additional minutes that you have from August 9th from the session?
Sir, I have reviewed the information. I was not present for this meeting, and I have sought legal counsel.
Okay, so do we have any additional minutes? If we don't, let's vote.
Madam Clerk,
So, ma'am.
have you had the opportunity to reach out to the media who was present to see if they have any recordings of the gap that we have?
No, ma'am, I was waiting for legal counsel to advise what I should do.
Okay. Any further discussion? Well, hearing none, we'll move forward to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, well, that's unanimous amongst those present.
The next item on the agenda is 4B, special called meeting minutes dated September 23rd, 2024.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Councilmember McKenzie. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Carn. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move forward to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. That is unanimous amongst those present.
Mayor, the next item on the agenda are proclamations, resolutions, plaques, and announcements. The first item is introduction of new employees for August and September.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. We have several new employees that have come in since August. So I would like to ask them to come up, those who are present, to come up and introduce themselves, tell you what department they're in and what their position is.
My name is Jada Fleming. I'm with Recreational Department, and I'm a gymnastics instructor.
Hi, I'm Victoria Spivey. I'm also with the Recreation Center, and I'm working with the gymnastics as well.
Hello. Good. My name is Donovan Salfali. I'm with the College Park Police Department.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Joseph St. Victor. I'm with the College Park Police Department.
Hi, I'm Alentia Carter. I'm with Code Enforcement. I'm a Code Enforcement Officer.
Good evening. My name is Monica Craddock, and I'm with College Park Police Department. It's a pleasure to meet everybody.
Looking right here for me on three. 1, 2, 3. Again, 1, 2, and 3.
The next item on the agenda is the All-Star Employee of the Month.
Okay, so this employee joined the City of College Park in December 2006 and has proven to be an incredible asset to our team and shows exceptional dedication. She makes outstanding contributions to the College Park Fire and Rescue. She is dedicated and professional and has been committed for over 18 years and has worked for 6 fire chiefs. Her consistency and steadfast attitude creates a consistent work environment and smooth transition between leaderships. She is always ready to lend a helping hand to her colleagues, whether it's answering questions or providing support. Her hard work does not go unnoticed, and we are proud to have her on our team. She is a true leader and team player who exemplifies our core values. The All-Star of the month of September is Miss Theresia Huggins.
Okay, group. Looking right here for me. Here we go, on three. 1, 2, and 3. Tilt that forward for me. Lower down just a little bit. Tilt it for me. Yeah, there you go. A couple more. Here we go. 1, 2, and 3. One last time. 1, 2, and 3. All right.
One more. All right. 1, 2, 3, 5. Yay. Two are actually from Ms. Arnold. The next two are actually from Ms. Arnold. Domestic Violence Awareness Month? Okay. Domestic violence is first. Yep.
All right, Councilmember Arnold had 2 proclamations on the agenda that unfortunately she's not here to read herself, but I will go ahead, and we've got a proclamation marking Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Whereas domestic violence is a pervasive issue that affects individuals and families across all communities, regardless of age, gender, economic status, race, religion, or nationality. And whereas the Partnership Against Domestic Violence has been at the forefront of combating domestic violence in Georgia for nearly 50 years, providing critical services such as emergency shelter, legal advocacy, counseling, and supportive housing to survivors. And whereas in 2024, the Partnership Against Domestic Violence reports that over 76,975 victims of domestic violence have been served nationwide, with 44,616 adult and child victims finding refuge in emergency shelters, transitional housing, hotels, motels, or other housing provided by local programs. And whereas domestic violence hotlines receive nearly 973 contacts every hour, highlighting the urgent need for support and resources for those in danger. And whereas approximately 41% of women and 26% of men have experienced sexual violence, physical violence, or stalking by an intimate partner during their lifetime, with significant psychological impacts. And whereas the economic burden of intimate partner violence is estimated to be $156 billion, underscoring the extensive financial impact on individuals and society. And whereas the Partnership Against Domestic Violence continues to educate the community through outreach programs, training sessions, and public awareness campaigns to prevent domestic violence and support survivors. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Mayor and Council of the City of College Park, Georgia, that the month of October is hereby proclaimed Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Proclaim this 10th day of October, 2024. We've got more awareness, breast cancer awareness.
Breast
right?
Cancer Awareness Month is the
right.
next proclamation.
Whereas October 2024 marks more than 30 years that National Breast Cancer Awareness Month has educated women about early breast cancer detection, diagnosis, and treatment. And whereas National Breast Cancer Awareness Month is dedicated to increasing public knowledge about the importance of early detection of breast cancer with national public service organizations, professional associations, and government agencies comprising the board of sponsors who work together to ensure that the National Breast Cancer Awareness Month message is heard by thousands of women and their families. And whereas this year, the awareness campaign is sending out several key messages, most notably the importance of early detection through annual mammogram screenings for women over 40, and whereas in 2024, 2,001,140 new cancer cases and 611,720 cancer deaths are projected to occur in the United States. And whereas cancer mortality continued to decline through 2021, averting over 4 million deaths since 1991 because of reductions in smoking, earlier detection for some cancers, and improved treatment options in both settings for cancer. And whereas the American Cancer Society has searched endlessly for a cure, through vital research and has the mammoth task of educating our community and all Americans of the risks of breast cancer. Also, we recognize the many volunteers who offer support in the form of support groups, accommodations, and transportation assistance, medical equipment, and more. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Mayor and Council of the City of College Park, Georgia, that the month of October is hereby proclaimed Breast Cancer Awareness Month, proclaimed this 10th day of October, 2024.
The next one is, yes, the next one is the Public Power and Green Power Week.
Yay! This is a good week. Whereas, College Park Power provides our homes, businesses, and local government agencies with reliable, clean, efficient, and cost-effective electricity, employing sound business practices designed to ensure the best possible service at not-for-profit rates. And whereas College Park Power has reduced summer residential rates by 14% and winter residential rates by 6%. And whereas College Park Power has power resources that are over 90% emissions-free and has taken on additional stewardship for our community's well-being through a Green Power Initiative, the first and largest municipal program of its kind in the state of Georgia, started in 2004. Now, therefore, be it resolved that College Park Power will continue to work to bring lower cost, safe, reliable, and clean electricity to community homes and businesses, just as it has since its creation shortly after the incorporation of the city in 1896 to serve all citizens of College Park. And be it further resolved that the week of October 6th through October 12th be designated the 38th Annual Public Power Week and 21st Annual Green Power Week in order to honor College Park Power for its contributions to the community and to make its consumer owners, policymakers, and employees more aware of its contributions to their well-being. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the Mayor and City Council of the City of College Park do hereby proclaim that the week of October 6th through 12th, 2024 be designated as Public Power and Green Power Week. Okay, all right. Well, yeah, let's get a picture. And just for all of the amazingly hard work that College Park Power does, we are so grateful day in and day out, especially when we have storms coming through, the responsiveness and the attentiveness that we get in this community. It's all because of your entire team, and we are so grateful for your efforts.
You're next, yes. I don't know. No, it's not on the agenda. That's Saturday. Yeah.
All right, this is a special presentation, and I guess it's special to me because I've known this young man since he was 5 years old when I first met him. So family, Willis family, if y'all want to come on down.
Councilmember Carr, sign that real quick while they're coming down. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
All right. City of College Park proclamation recognizing Lieutenant Commander Rex R.J. Willis, Jr. Whereas Lieutenant Rex R.J. Willis, Jr. is a contemporary trailblazer, world traveler, and sports enthusiast, born and raised in College Park, Georgia, has consistently demonstrated exceptional dedication to service, leadership, and academic excellence throughout his life. And whereas Lieutenant Willis is the proud son of Rex Willis Sr. and Dr. Sabrina Willis, whose parenting, along with strong support of family, friends, coaches, mentors, and the collaborative village, helped shape his journey of success as a youth. L.T. Willis excelled academically and participated in football and track and College Park recreation programs. And whereas Lieutenant Willis is a founding member of Favor House and the Georgia Favor track team, where he has been an integral part in their success, contributing to their mission of guiding youth to excellence at the highest levels. And whereas Lieutenant Willis is a proud graduate of the United States Naval Academy. That's worth a clap, y'all. Earned his degree in cyber operations with merit and was named to the superintendent and dean's list. He also served as the brigade physical mission officer responsible for the fitness of over 4,500 midshipmen while excelling in athletics, earning varsity letters in both track and field and sprint football. And whereas Lieutenant Willis served as a surface warfare officer on the USS John Paul Jones, making history as the ballistic missile defense officer and senior watch stander during the test launch of a $40 million missile, reaching the highest altitudes ever achieved by a Navy interceptor, earning him the Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medal twice for his outstanding contributions. And whereas Lieutenant Willis has served as chief engineer, department head for 6 months of deployment to the South China Sea, the Persian Gulf, overseeing operations and repairs of $50 million worth of engineering equipment and supervising 90 personnel in 4 divisions, exemplifying leadership under pressure. And whereas Lieutenant Willis is serving on active duty in the United States Navy Fleet Scholar Education Program selection, reflecting his unwavering commitment to both his military career and academic growth. And whereas Lieutenant Willis' personal academic excellence with vigor, gaining acceptance to several prestigious MBA programs, including Wharton, Columbia, UCLA, Yale, Cornell, and the University of Chicago, but ultimately choosing the Harvard Business School, fulfilling his dream of attending an Ivy League institution. And whereas Lieutenant Willis blazed paths at Harvard Business School, where he served as the chief of staff within the Student Association and represented the business school on the Harvard Graduate Council, all Harvard Graduate Councils, all while deeply connected to his community and committed to his community and committed to giving back, graduating on May 23rd, 2024. And finally, now therefore it be proclaimed that the City Council and the City of College Park, Georgia, hereby do recognize Lieutenant Commander Rex Willis Jr. this day, celebrating his remarkable service, accomplishments, and ongoing commitment to excellence, leadership, and service this 10th day of October 2024. Let's hear it, y'all.
Councilman Karn, that was a lot. Like, honestly, that's super, super humbling, and I appreciate you putting that all together. Just want to say I love my city more than anything else. It's a big part of me and allowed me to be in the position that I am today. The city is full of great potential, and I think hand in hand we can really work together to make that a reality. It's no greater honor that I have than serving my country and allowing this city and my family and everybody in the community to live the life that they deserve to live. So once again, I just want to say thank you so much, Councilman Karn, and to the Mayor and City Council for all that you do.
Okay, you guys shift this way for me. You're in the middle. There you go. There you go. All right, group. Okay, group. Eyes right here for me, everybody. On three. 1, 2, 3. Again. 1, 2, 3. Last time, big smiles. 1, 2, and 3. There you go.
Mayor, the next item on the agenda is citizen comment. Our first comment comes from Allison Blue at 1868 Rugby Avenue. She wants to talk about Helene preparations.
Good evening, Mayor and Council members. My name is Allison Blue, resident of Ward 1, living at 1868 Rugby Avenue. Let me begin by thanking you all for the opportunity to speak tonight. Don't take it for granted that I have the liberty to be a part of a community where we can voice our thoughts openly, and I'm grateful for that. I'd also like to extend my congratulations to Dr. Dideron on your recent appointment as city manager, and I look forward to seeing the positive impact that your knowledge and leadership can bring to College Park, and I pray that you get the support that you deserve to be an effective leader. First, let me congratulate publicly our Councilwoman McKenzie for being selected to attend the Regional Leadership Institute, along with a diverse group of leaders from the Atlanta region. While some raised questions and concerns about your absence from a scheduled meeting this week, suggesting that it prevented a quorum, let's be clear, the meeting wasn't canceled, it was simply postponed because we're here tonight. Your time was well spent learning new ideas and strategies to bring back to College Park. While some may have tried to throw shade in your absence, you were handling the business of our city proactively and with the grace and class that I've come to expect from you. You've never been one to condescend or throw shade in return, and in my opinion, you exemplify what true leadership looks like, and I commend you for your dedication. Secondly, I'd like to thank you for your proactive leadership during Hurricane Helene. You kept the citizens informed about important updates from the storm's path to boil water advisory in places where help was available if needed. This kind of transparency and communication is what our community needs, and I appreciate that you stepped up when it mattered most. Lastly, I simply believe in offering praise when it's due and asking questions that need to be asked. It's not about who's in the spotlight, it's about accountability and making sure our city continues to move forward in the right direction. Thank you again for your time, and I look forward to the day when we can all work together for the betterment of College Park. Thank you.
Thank you, Allison. Thank you.
Mayor, the next speaker is Kim Bodie at 3270 Lyle Terrace regarding Keith James.
My name is Kim Bodie, and I live in Ward 1. Been there for 73 years. I don't know if that's any kind of record or anything, but I've been there for a while. I'm a retired Fulton County teacher and coach with 31 years, mainly at College Park High School and Tri-Cities. I presently am employed by Woodward Academy. I'm here to speak on behalf of Keith James, who I understand that the council and mayor is considering naming the city auditorium after. When I started to think of what I could say before this council, a few things came to mind, both good and bad. I would like to reflect on the bad first and get it out of the way. I attended College Park High School with Keith on the basketball team and ended up going to a small school to play college basketball in South Carolina named Newberry College. To this day, I believe I could have played at a major school if Keith would have shared the basketball with me and not shot every time I threw him the ball. Keith believed in the IU offense, and that doesn't stand for Indiana University. It stands for I get the ball and I shoot it. That's the way Keith was. Anyway, that's the only bad thing I could think about. But the good things that came to mind were all documented, and I'm sure everybody knows his 40 years of service, his rec league growth, the several renovations along with Eric Stipe, the auditorium, the baseball field, and the Connolly Center, turned it into a great gymnastics center. But there are three things that I would like to recall that Keith did that maybe wasn't on the record. His cooperation with me in scheduling the city auditorium so I could practice my basketball team there and he could conduct his men's league basketball games was every year he and I would sit down and go over the schedule, and he made that possible. Number two, when Dick Zupp Park needed another field, he went outside the council budget and got a friend to donate the money, Evander Holyfield, so that there could be a place for the kids to play. And number three, when I didn't find Keith in his office, I could always find that he was on the go, going to apartments and houses and passing out registration materials for the youth sports teams to grow. I think the basketball teams and the baseball teams doubled in size because of Keith's effort within the community. Years ago, I was fortunate to stand before this council requesting that the baseball field be named.
Thank you, sir.
Today, I hope that y'all consider
Thank you,
Keith.
Appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
The next person to speak is Bo Causey at 297 North Central Avenue, also regarding Keith James.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I think Odie stole some of my thunder there, what I was going to say about Keith, but that's okay. I've known Keith for a good number of years as a coach and also as a rec director and with the rec department. I find that he has great integrity. He's committed to his job. He was open door policy anytime you needed to go talk to him about any issue. It was very easy conversation. There's a lot of things that I think he brought to College Park in the way of rec programs that are now still in place, which have benefited many of the citizens, especially our youth, which having been involved in sports myself, I think is very, very important. And the relationship I had with him has always been a good one. He's helped me on various occasions when I was over at Woodward, and we needed space. It might have been when they were doing construction or other things, and through his efforts in College Park, we were allowed to use it's the old auditorium there. And I'm not sure how that is, but it really came in handy. And I cannot thank Keith enough for his kindness and for him always supporting me and also supporting his community through all the years that he served. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
The next speaker is Morgan Campbell. Did I say that right? Morgan, oh, sorry. I wasn't sure. I guessed wrong.
That's okay. Good evening. I'm here representing my father and the whole KISM USA organization. I'm sorry, my father is Coach Tracy Campbell. But thank you for the opportunity to address you. I'm here to speak with you this evening to encourage you all to vote yes in the decision to name the College Park Auditorium after Mr. Keith James. Mr. James has given 37 years of his life serving the children and families of College Park in various roles while in the Recreation Department. Keith, as we fondly call him, has made a positive impact on hundreds of thousands of people in his 37 years of service to the city by the decisions he's made. One of the decisions he made that has benefited the city of College Park and the community greatly was to contract with the Kism USA organization. January of 1986, Kism USA was selected by Keith to provide preschool gymnastics as part of the city's gymnastics programs. Before the addition of KGU, the Recreation Department was considering dropping gymnastics altogether. Since Keith's decision to add the KGU program, the city to date has 700 to 800 children taking gymnastics at the Conley Recreation Center each session. The city has also received millions of dollars in revenue added to the budget, and lastly, the city has experienced regional, national, and international recognition and attention from the Kism USA program. For example, there were always kids from the College Park housing community who consistently came over to the Conley Center. Every kid wants to learn to flip, so kids would come to the Conley Center after hours, break in, jump on the trampoline, flip on the floor, and sometimes just vandalize the gym. On Saturdays, kids would come by and ask Coach Tracy if they could show him how they can flip. Coach Tracy, a former collegiate athlete, saw the talent and ability these young kids possess and wanted to create an exhibition team. Keith, who has always been a community advocate, realized what this could do for the kids from the community. Keith allowed Coach Tracy to work with this group of at-risk kids for no charge on Saturdays after the Conley Center was closed. From that decision, the KZU Top Gun Tumblers was created, and the break-ins from the boys in the community stopped occurring. The Top Gun Tumblers became one of the most outstanding youth entertainment groups in the country, performing all across the country at NCAA games, NBA, NFL, the White House, Walt Disney World, Coca-Cola Olympic City, and the Olympic Stadium for the 1996 Olympics. At every performance, they were introduced as the Kism USA Top Gun Tumblers from College Park, Georgia. While representing the city of College Park, the Tumblers were performing on Capitol Hill as part of a fundraiser for PETA. Some people from the U.S. Department of National Service witnessed the impact the KGU program had on these kids and informed the president. Shortly after that, we were named the 506th Daily Point of Light for the nation. When I say Keith's decision to add Kism USA to the city's program and services has positively impacted hundreds of thousands of people, I mean it. The KGU Tumblers are now adults who have incorporated themselves as Air Elite dunkers, performing all across the world with the NBA. These boys have gone from being potential tax burdens to tax-paying productive citizens. In 1994,
Time.
Okay,
Thank you,
well, all
Thank
of
you.
those, let's recognize Mr. Keith
Thank you,
James
ma'am.
for the
Appreciate it.
auditorium.
Thank you.
Charles Green, 3309 College Park, regarding civic discourse.
Good evening, Mayor and Council,
Good evening, Charles.
Evening.
and all my streaming neighbors somewhere. I'm just here to say a few words about positivity and trying to add something that's not complaining or asking for something. I'm in Ward 1. We hear a lot of acrimony that's been going on for the last year that's getting really dated and old and ineffective. And I'm really looking to see if I could just put out in public the suggestion to start rethinking some of the negativity, the opposition to different people, and I guess things that distract from moving forward positively in our city. There's a lot of really good things going on, and I think a lot of progress. I think there's a lot more potential to be had. But there's a lot of people just trapped in ideas, decisions they are against, and they can't quite let go of it. I will tell you there's no one on this council before me that I agree with 100%. Just like the Fulton County Commission, the Georgia legislature certainly, our governor, our president, our Congress. But I still am an American, and I'm a citizen of Georgia and the city of College Park, and I intend to participate in that way. So I wanted to get those words out. In addition, I would echo my neighbor Allison Blue in calling out our council ward person 1, who's been the target of a lot of acrimony, which I think was unfair and unnecessary a lot of times. Certainly unproductive most of the time. I didn't know about her attending RLI, but I'm a graduate of Regional Leadership Institute, and it's one of the most positive leadership experiences I ever had as a citizen and a business leader. And that was time well spent on behalf of our city that I think will pay dividends. In addition to that, I've just seen a lot of energy in her brief tenure on the council, organizing a lot of events that have benefited children, elders, and a lot of citizens general with, events that she created, which I think we ought to be looking for other council people to emulate and see if we can't spread more love around the city like that. So that's it. Thank you for the opportunity to add those comments.
Thank you, sir.
The next citizen to speak is Michael Majid at 4701 Flat Shoals Road regarding Keith James.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening to the council and mayor. I'm here on behalf of Mr. Keith James. My comment is not to offend anybody tonight. I first encountered Keith back in 1962, maybe 63. And in my neighborhood where I live over here in College Park, we weren't allowed to come to the facility up here and play. We have our own fields over here at the Brady Gym. And most of us grew up playing sports. And we used to come up and watch Keith play with the American League team. And he was a pitcher. I was standing outside that fence one day because we weren't allowed in, and I saw him pitch. I said, man, that white boy can throw. I went back to the neighborhood and told all of my baseball players that was playing with me, man, we got to go see this white boy. He could throw. Came back, they saw him pitch, and we said, hey, we got to get him over on the outside. Back then, too, we had two Negro Leagues teams, the College Park Indians and the College Park White Sox. I was the bat boy for the College Park Indians, and I told the manager at the time, it's a white boy up there at College Park playing baseball. You got to have him. You got to get him. But nevertheless, that didn't happen. I had a chance to meet Keith once again when he was director at the gym up here. And I mentioned to him, I said, man, I saw you play back in the day, and you was the Greg Maddox back then. And we struck a friendship. And along the way, he made me felt welcome because I had different perspective about Caucasian people growing up. But he told me some things that really stuck with me here today. And that's why I want to come here and just share some of the things about a great man. Keith is a great man overall. No respect of color, religion. He's a downhearted, good earthly man. And man, don't ring that bell. I'm gone.
Thank you, sir.
Our next speaker is Johnny Williams.
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Good evening, Ms. Johnny.
I am here for my council person, Ms. McKenzie. I had a huge tree fall. I called everyone in College Park. She is the only one that came to my rescue. It fell from my yard to the street. And I want to say thank you for doing that. Another thing, I'm speaking for the grounds and sanitation workers. They need a raise. It is unfair for what you are paying them. You need to pay them more money for the work they do.
Thank you, ma'am.
Our next speaker is Rex Willis.
Hello, Mayor and Council.
Hey, Rex and Sabrina.
Congratulations, Dr. Darren. We support you, and as the young lady said earlier, we pray that they give you the opportunity to do the job that you're hired to do. So congratulations. Also, I want to say thank you, Councilman Karn, for recognizing RJ and that was so awesome, and so that touched my heart. Also, I want to say on yesterday, such a great event. Councilman Carn, Councilman McKenzie, had a lot of people come out. That's never been done before, is getting people learning how to work and do business with the city of College Park. And I hadn't seen any other city do that, but I thought that was so awesome, great turnout. So, Joe, Jamel, just so awesome. Congratulations. Also, I want to say congratulations to the mayor. We went to Altropolis. They recognized, one of her friends was getting recognized for Jack Longino in the honor of him. I thought that was so awesome. They spoke so highly of Jack with this building his name of, which I fought so hard to get this named after. So I thought that was so awesome to have Altropolis and the mayor and Councilman McKenzie and Councilman Corn there. So great event. So I really appreciate that. Councilman Gay, I think that's you up there, right? I'm messing with you. But you've been doing some great things. I look forward this weekend and the event that you're having. I think it's going to be a great event. I wish and hope everyone who's able to come out and come to that event. It's not just for Ward 4, which is Councilman Gay is putting on the event, but it's for all the citizens of College Park. And they said earlier, we want to bring positivity, and I don't know what some people are saying. I haven't seen nothing for the last 3 council, 4 council, nothing but positivity, good things, and that's what I want to see, us coming together, moving things forward, making the city, as my son said, he loved the city, I love the city. Sabrina loved the city. We raised our kids, most of our grandkids is being raised in this city. We do business in this city. We do a nonprofit in this city. We're very involved in this city. So we love the city, and we want more people to get involved. Like I said, there's been a lot of energy, maybe going some other ways that I like to see coming together, and I'm so happy that people are coming out, Councilman McKenzie, and recognizing the positive things that you're doing and other council. I'm gonna use Sabrina a minute, so keep on. So I think it is so awesome what we're doing and the community is doing. I want to recognize a young lady who ran here in the city of College Park for 6 years. Father just called me earlier this evening. She went to Our Lady of Mercy, graduated from there, went on to Loyola University. She was just named the first African American in Loyola history in the Hall of Fame. So her name is Leah Banks, and I really want to give her a big shout. So Leah, congratulations. Such an awesome accomplishment, what you was able to accomplish. Okay, Sabrina, you can use the rest of your minute.
Thank you all so much. Tonight was a very special night. Thank you so much, Council, for recognizing my son. He really loves the city. This past couple of months been the longest that he's been able to stay at home since he left in 2013. But I can almost tell you, almost 5 days a week he's been up at the recreation training. But he really loves the city, and that means a lot, not only to him, but to us as a family. So I just want to say thank you so much. And I got
a couple more minutes. Thank you, Sabrina. And also Keith James. I forgot. I came here 8 years ago and brought Keith James' name up for naming the auditorium. It wasn't successful, but I'm not going to take long. Everything that's been said, I agree. I support Keith. Over 20 years ago, Keith gave Sabrina and I the opportunity to run the track program here in the city, and we've worked together till he retired. So Keith, I think it's going to get done tonight. I pray it does. But it's such a great opportunity. And as I see Jack's name on this building, I love to see your name when I come up to the city of College Park, Keith James Auditorium. And I hope Mayor and Council do agree to do that. But I think it's well deserving. And Keith gave so much to this community, as you have heard earlier. So that's something I hope you all do. But thank you all so much, and I'm looking for us going and continue moving in a positive manner as we are doing. So thank you very much. I'm not going to run out of my minutes. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I promised I was going to get this one right tonight, Mayor. It's Chisulo.
Chisula.
Chisulo. Dang it. Chisulo Ajanaku. Did I get that?
Yes, you got it.
Okay, I'm trying.
Thank you so much. You did wonderful.
Getting closer.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I'm really, up here. I'm like, so godly. But I got to calm down. I love what I see and what I'm feeling. So first of all, I want to thank all of you. I want to thank all of you for the great job that we are witnessing today. And it's wonderful. But I want to say this. What I'm here today is to talk about the benefits of unification. The benefits of unification. One of the benefits, of course, of unification is love. You can feel it. You can feel love. So, but also the benefits of unification is what everybody wants in College Park already. We're this far apart, but we want the same thing. We want to improve communications. We want to enhance collaboration, increase trust. We want to be empowered. The people want to be empowered. We want to accept diverse perspectives. Efficiency. More efficient government. But most important, when people keep crying out, transparency. This council, so much the benefits of unification. We're witnessing it. I'm witnessing it. Regular meetings, feedback. We're getting plenty of feedback. We're getting more feedback than we ever have. And these great initiatives, God, these great initiatives that we're having where all our community can participate in. I'm excited. I see what's going on. I feel what's going on. And I want you to say that's the benefits that we're receiving for unification. Overall unification leads to more engagement, more cohesive community, ultimately improved quality of life for everybody. And most of all, the local government. I want to thank you. And I encourage you to keep going for all of us, because we all will benefit from it. Thank you.
Mayor, I have 5 online citizen comments. I'm going to try to do this double-handed. We'll see. I have 12 minutes, 36 seconds left on here. The council can extend 6 minutes if they choose. I'm going to set my timer and try to do this together. Here we go. Dear Mayor and Council, other than the extremists, rescheduling mayor and council meetings is a very bad practice. My understanding is that despite the well-known dates of these meetings, 2 members were unavailable, thus not allowing a quorum to be present last Monday. Further, I understand that Council Member Arnold, who presumably scheduled her day job travel around the normal meeting dates, is unavailable for in-person attendance today and will not be able to vote. This effectively disenfranchises a quarter of our city from full representation today. This is particularly troubling as Agenda Item 9D affects many apartment residents in Ward 3. Many citizens are justifiably concerned with the actions of our legislative body and wish to observe these meetings. You cannot expect every citizen to closely monitor changing dates so that they may attend. This is yet another example of this body's lack of transparency. All institutions require a predictable work rhythm to function smoothly. Changing the dates of the principal legislative event undoubtedly causes our staff extra work. I am happy for Councilmember McKenzie and that she was able to go to the 3-day Lake Lanier retreat for the Regional Leadership Institute. I see there were many photo opportunities. Whichever council member was also otherwise engaged Monday undoubtedly had similar pressing business. However, we are a city of some 14,000 people. The personal desires of the 2 city council members unavailable Monday should not come at the expense of the 13,998 citizens that they pledged to serve. Please do better. Tom Coleman.
Point of clarification on the.
Wait, hold on. Wait, folks, just read.
I have a point of clarification.
To his.
The point of clarification, not on his, has nothing to do with what was read.
Well, then, hold on a second. Councilmember McKenzie, you're out of order at this point. Please proceed.
I'm making a city attorney, can you help me?
And
Point of clarification. Is there anyone that can, I need a point of clarification on what is happening right now in this meeting. We have not allowed citizens that are in the audience, in the chamber, the opportunity to make remarks. We've only done the persons who are signed up. And according to the way that our public comments work, is we have public comments, we spend 30 minutes of public comment. And once we have finished the ones that have signed in, we continue to allow persons that are in the audience who have not signed in the opportunity to speak. And then we spend 6 minutes in email comments. Just want the clarification that we're going to follow the rules that are written for public comment.
Ma'am, the way it works is that we get the folks who are signed up, we get the email comments, and then if we have excess time, we open it up.
That is not the way that we have practiced this.
Okay, so right now, I'm going to let the city clerk proceed.
I would like to make a motion that we, at this time, follow the rules and regulations for public comment and allow the persons who are sitting in the audience the opportunity, if they would like to speak, and then we follow the 6-minute rule for email comments.
Councilmember
3 minutes per comment.
Councilmember McKenzie, we're going to proceed with the ones that are emailed in, and then we'll proceed.
I've made a motion. There's a motion on the floor.
Councilmember McKenzie.
There's a motion on the floor.
There's a motion on the floor.
Hold on. Where is the rule?
It's
City Attorney.
Wait, hold on, Councilmember Hart, hold on. I'm asking a question. Let's clarify the rule.
Madam Mayor, there's a motion on the floor. Councilwoman McKenzie made a motion. It doesn't have to be in a rule. She made a motion, and I believe that the proper procedure now calls for a second.
Second.
Any discussion? I've got some. So people have sent in their comments, and I think we might be in a space where we exhaust that and then we don't get to all the email comments. And that's going to be rather unfortunate because we've gotten that feedback from people on multiple occasions. Madam Clerk, how much time do we have left?
10 minutes, 38 seconds.
Okay. So there was a rule that was passed in regard to our public comment. So if someone could pull that up for me. Madam Clerk, what is it?
We have rules that are published on the agenda.
Yes, ma'am. And those rules are.
That's not the updated rule.
Councilmember McKenzie,
we're in discussion. Are we in discussion?
Could you please not interrupt me? All right. So speakers must limit their remarks to no more than 3 minutes. Specific topic not discussed during citizen remarks more than 15 minutes. This doesn't. We did go ahead and. There was something that we adopted earlier this year in regard to public comment.
I'll make sure I get that updated on this. This is
Okay.
all that I was given.
City Attorney.
Councilmember Karn, if you wish to speak, I'm happy to acknowledge you, but I just need to know that you wish to speak.
City Attorney, I wanted
Councilmember Karn, Councilmember Karn, as the presiding officer, if you wish to speak, I'm happy to acknowledge you. So please go ahead.
All right, thank you. City Attorney, I wanted to get some clarification for our public audience so you can understand kind of what we're trying to get straightened out here. We made some modifications and changes that put the public, the in-person public, as the priority to be heard. So we want to make sure everyone's clear with the understanding. We don't want to restrict anyone, but there's a tier for priorities. And the folks that have left their homes and gotten dressed and drove down here to City Hall that had a piece to speak or had an issue or a concern, they're going to be the top priority in terms of public comments. There's a sign-in list, but there are also people that get here after the meeting has started in person that may also want to speak. So the priority, as we had determined, was though the people that came for public comment that signed in, the people that have come after the sign-in at the beginning of the meeting, as the meeting has commenced, second priority, then the email comments from residents and others that don't live in College Park. So that's kind of the idea in terms of what we're trying to do. Now, we don't want to skip anyone in the audience and put the email comments in front of those that have taken the time out to come down and personally appear that want to speak. So I just wanted to clear that up.
Well, I think that is what we do need to clear up, because I don't recall, I mean, we went through, we discussed this, and I just want to make sure that we are following what we said we were going to do. And I'm not necessarily convinced that that's what we're about to do. And I certainly don't, excuse me, I'm still speaking, thank you. I just want to make sure that we get to the folks who have the opportunity to, who've taken the opportunity to email in comments as well. And I thought that we were handling those folks who hadn't signed in after that. And I could very well be mistaken, but there is a motion on the floor. Any further discussion? Hearing none? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? Councilmember Gay, what is your vote?
Abstention.
All right. It passes with Councilmembers McKenzie and Karn in favor and Councilmember Gay abstaining. So we'll...
Madam Mayor, may I ask for what the motion was? I'm sorry.
Councilmember McKenzie, what was your motion?
The motion was that we would adhere to 30 minutes here for in-person comments and 6 minutes for email comments. And so we still have time to continue to allow, it may not be that there's anyone that wants to speak, but if there is someone that would like to speak, and I specifically am the person that spoke on this issue several months ago in a meeting, and I made it very clear that we want to definitely give priority to persons who have left their home to come out here to City Hall and sit through this meeting and give them the opportunity to speak. And then the email comments, what was happening is email comments weren't getting read at all. So we said we would make sure that we would give 6 minutes for email comments, but not 6 minutes to spend on one email comment. But they would still be under the 3-minute rule.
May I ask for clarification? I apologize. The timer is 36 minutes, so does that include the 6 minutes for email? Because we do 36 minutes typically of the public, and I'm just asking for clarification for future meetings.
Yes, ma'am, I believe it does include the 6 minutes.
Okay.
The 36 minutes total.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So we've used 3 minutes of email comments right now, and so depending on what amount of time you have, we have 3 more
I
minutes.
don't
It wasn't a full 3 minutes, but
Okay, so, okay, that's fine.
Madam Clerk, what's your accounting of the time at this point?
I don't know, because I cleared it out. There was probably a minute left, maybe.
All right.
You
so
said 10
if anyone-
minutes. You said we had 10 when the.
We have 10 minutes left total.
Okay.
10 minutes, 38 seconds is the time that remains on the timer.
All right, so Madam Clerk, is about approximately 2 minutes that you spent on that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so that would, from a math perspective, leave another.
No, my point of clarification was just making sure that the 36 minutes that's on the timer includes the 6 that would normally be allocated for write-in comments. So thank you.
Correct.
Okay, so we've got another, if anyone wishes to speak, they can come at this time.
Madam Mayor, Council. Mario Malcolm, 1859 Harvard Avenue. I just want to.
Sorry, can you spell your first name? I haven't started the timer.
Mario.
Thank
Last name Malcolm, spelled like Malcolm X.
Thank you.
I just want to give a thank you to, I don't know if it's due to Councilman Karn or not, but about a week and a half ago, I hit a pothole and it damaged my car severely, which I use for work. And I seen Councilman Karn on the side of the road doing some work for the city. And I mentioned it to him. He gave me some instructions on how to get it fixed. And within a week later, that pothole was filled in. And it messed up my car totally. So I don't know if you pulled any strings or if you said anything, but if you did, thank you so much. My fear was someone else that's on limited income hitting that pothole, not being able to get it fixed. I did pay for it. I'm not looking for reimbursement or anything like that. But I just want to publicly say thank you so much for handling the business of the city. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
My name is William Scott. I'm an employee of the city of College Park. I just wanted to speak on behalf of Mr. James. As I can remember, I would come to work 6 o'clock in the morning consistently before anyone would get started, and I would always see him running in the mornings at the same time consistently, a man of discipline. And then one time my wife and I, we went to Carrollton for an event, and we were just talking. We didn't know any of the people, and they were just talking, and someone asked me where I worked, and I told them College Park, and they were talking about some things, and they talked about recreation, and the name, Mr. James' name came up, and just the respect and reverence that the people had for his name in Carrollton, and they didn't know anything about our relationship or whatever. And I just think it would be a great honor to have the auditorium named after him. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to speak? Seeing none others, we'll go to the email.
Okay. Sorry, I'm not the speediest reader. We have 8 minutes and 45 seconds left on the clock. Am I free to use them all and just go as fast as I can?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I have an email from, says, good evening, Mayor and City Council members and Mayor. My name is Sherry Godfrey, and I reside at 1966 Lyle Avenue. I write to express strong opposition to the proposed ordinance on deficient properties, item agenda 9D. It is concerning that such significant legislation is being presented and voted on at the same meeting without sufficient transparency or public input. This lack of communication goes against the promise of open governance. There is no clear explanation on the problems that this ordinance seeks to address, nor any justification from city staff. Have key departments like code enforcement, fire, and police reviewed and commented? Have prior efforts been evaluated to understand why they failed? This rush process raises concerns about potential legal challenges and whether the measures outlined are unnecessarily harsh. The principles of good governance call for careful consideration and transparency in all decisions. This ordinance, however well-intentioned, requires a more thorough review. I urge you to table it and allow for a full workshop session to ensure a well-informed decision based on critical analysis, comparable legislation, feedback from personnel. Lastly, it's likely that our current legislation already addresses this concern, but just needs more effort on enforcement rather than creation like new regulations. Sincerely, Sherry Godfrey. All right. Sorry, I gotta move I'm pretending somebody's walking up so I can get to the next email. The next email is from Councilwoman Tracy Arnold. Dear Council Park residents, I wanted to take a moment to address my absence from today's council meeting. The majority of the council consented to changing today's meeting date, a day I already committed to being out of town for work, which I had previously shared. Unfortunately, this has also happened with special called meetings in the past. These continued unplanned calendar changes have caused undue interference to my representation for the constituents of Ward 3 and marginalized its voices and the desires of the people that voted for me to serve as their council member. To prevent further scheduling conflicts, I have proactively shared my planned work calendar and personal travel dates for the next couple of months with the city council, the city clerk, and the city manager, and the city attorney. Hopefully, by sharing this information, it will ensure that all relevant parties are informed and we can better coordinate to avoid scheduling conflicts moving forward. Thank you for your understanding and continued support as I remain committed to serving our community. Sincerely, Councilwoman Tracy Arnold, City of College Park, Ward 3. I just reset it. But that was a minute. There was a minute 49 left on hers. So I'm probably down to 6 minutes. Am I good to keep going?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then I will just set a timer for 6 minutes and go until I run out of time. I have 2 left. The next one is from Demetrius Taylor. Greetings, Mayor and Council. I am Demetrius Taylor, nearly 17-year resident of the Embarcadero. Thank you, Club Apartments in Ward 2. And you will forever hear me say, I am not the voice of the people, I am the people. I would like to take this time to state my contention with all of these lawsuits that we have against the city, and I am especially upset with those that are toward the entire city when we should have been issued to direct parties involved. Every resident, stakeholder, legacy builder, community member, business owner deserves an apology. We keep hearing how much everyone is working for us, and yet we are the ones being sued. How ironic. We must get this together quickly so that we can handle the business of the city. I am asking for all parties involved to take a look at the Phoenix Trail. The lighting is horrendous and the graffiti is awful and needs to be painted, or we can hire a graffiti artist to create beautiful artwork that can become the muse of the trail. We also need to have West Point Street repaved and the yellow lines need to be updated. Can we get this done to make sure the street is safe? Thank you for your time and consideration. I am an echo of the eternal cry, let there be. Demetrius D. Taylor. The last email is from Mose James, and I apologize, I have to highlight it because it came in kind of crazy. I'm submitting this, it says, Dear Mayor, Council members, and city officials, I'm submitting this comment on behalf of myself and concerned residents who cannot be there tonight. We continually raise concerns about the safety transparency surrounding the NextEra battery storage facility, and it's critical these concerns are addressed. First, let me not forget the recent biolab fire in Rockdale County just 2 weeks ago, and the hazardous effects from that fire, which occurred 20 miles away, were felt right here in our neighborhood. Now imagine the potential danger if a similar fire occurred at the proposed battery facility, only 5 miles from these chambers and even closer to our homes. We're planning to put this facility in our neighborhood's backyards and the risks are too great to ignore. There are 3 key issues with handling this project, and they form the core of the lawsuit filed on October 4th. 1, the lack of proper notifications. Residents were not properly informed, and the late changes to the agenda made it impossible for the community to engage fully in the process. Violation of due process. This sudden addition of NextEra-related items to the March 2024 agenda with no time for review undermined the right of residents to be heard. Number 3, failure to follow the zoning procedures. The city has not complied with its own zoning laws or state laws, which are meant to protect communities from precisely this type of oversight. Let this sink in. Your own residents have been so concerned about these dangers and procedural failures that we've raised money to sue you. Our community is using its hard-earned dollars to take legal action in order to save our neighborhoods from this potentially catastrophic project. This lawsuit isn't just about legal technicalities, it's about protecting the future of College Park and the health of our families. We urge the council to reconsider this project and to put the community's safety first. Listen to your residents who are standing together to protect our shared homes. We are committed to ensuring College Park remains a safe and thriving place for generations to come. Thank you for your time. Visit www.unitedcollegepark.com for more information. Sincerely, Mose James IV. There's 2 minutes remaining.
All right. We will move forward. We have a public hearing for the millage rate at 11.608 mils. Special district tax rate is 20 mils and GICC special tax district rate for 20 mils. This time I'll declare the public hearing open. If anyone wishes to speak on the millage rate, they can do so at this time. This time the public hearing is closed.
The next item on the agenda is 8A, consideration of an action of, this is the consent, oh, wow, tongue-tied this evening, Mayor. The consent agenda.
Know the feeling.
Can I ask for you to read the items? I am sorry,
Absolutely.
I am so tongue-tied. My apologies.
Item 8A is consideration of an action on a request to purchase of replacement heavy equipment for water and sewer division from Yancey Cat in the amount of $145,824. 8B is consideration of an action on a request to approve Sophos endpoint protection software for the amount of $24,078.75. C is consideration of an action on a request for approval of a service agreement between the City of College Park and Motorola Solutions for connectivity, maintenance, support, and other services for the police public safety radio system in the amount of $89,628.68. D is consideration of an action on a request to approve payment to East Point for services rendered in the amount of $12,000 for the months of July and August.
E is skipped.
E is, yes, and F is consideration of an action on a request to approve an invoice payment to the collaborative firm in the amount of $19,370. Is that budgeted? Is F budgeted?
That's a collaborative firm. We have month-to-month contract with them.
Is it budgeted?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Just as an aside, if we could actually get the account that it's coming from, some of these agenda items reflect that the account where it's coming from, and some of them do not.
Okay.
And so, like, this is a budgeted item, like, we need a little bit more than that, if we can have it. Thank you. 8G is consideration of an action on a request to approve the additional FAR and GSAR clauses for lease renewals for the FAA campus building. H is consideration of an action on a request from Councilwoman Jamel McKenzie regarding the Brady Trail, which includes the removal of kudzu and the addition of lighting and cameras along the trail. The estimated cost is $42,014.42.
I is moving to the regular agenda?
Yes. J is consideration and action to name the City Hall lawn College Park Memorial Commons with a dedication service on Saturday, November 9th at 1:00 p.m. And K is consideration of an action on a proposal from the City of College Park to rename the Gateway Pedestrian Bridge and Trail for U.S. Congressman David Scott. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Councilmember McKenzie. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Carn. Any discussion?
I have a question about, a legal question for the city attorney. I'm just asking, because actually I'm the one who I think proposed it, but are we allowed to name a project that was by elected official, who sponsored the funding?
Yes, I don't think there's any prohibition, and you're referring to Councilman Scott.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't believe there's any prohibition on naming it after him.
That's it.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
That is unanimous amongst those present.
Mayor, I had a point of order. Now, I know we just had 7A, which was the public hearing. Then we have another item here that's 7AA. It says public hearing and adoption. Now, do we need to take a vote after we've had the final public hearing for the millage rate?
That's 9A.
It's 9.
It is.
Okay, that's coming down.
Yeah.
I have it in here as 7A as adoption.
It's
Okay,
9A.
I just wanted to make sure.
Okay.
Okay, so it's upcoming.
Okay.
All right, that answers my question.
The next item is 9A, adoption by resolution to set the millage rate at 11.68 or 608 mils. the special district rate of 20 mills and the GICC special district rate of 20 mills for fiscal year 2024 through 25. This item is requested by the interim Director of Finance of Accounting and Karen Slayton-Dixon in collaboration with the City Manager Emmanuel Adediran.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Councilmember McKenzie. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you,
Discussion.
Councilmember Carn. Any discussion? Councilmember Carn?
Just wanted to mention to the public, in terms of what we're doing here,
Can you speak
previously.
into your microphone? I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. All right, is that better?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. In the Public Power Proclamation, it was emphasized that we deliver services at not-for-profit rates. And I wanted to emphasize that because that really means something in this community. Unlike Georgia Power, who is for profit, for instance, our power company is not for profit. This millage rate reduction is a great thing for this community. And I want the public to be aware of the dynamic things that are getting done and the good things that are getting done in College Park for all of our residents. Before this year, there were 2 votes in the last 18 months in terms of the millage rate. One vote was to maintain the 12.619 millage rate, and there was also a vote to raise the millage rate. So here's the good news. In 2024, we are now at a vote to reduce the millage rate, not to maintain, not to increase. And I want the public to be clear about this, to lower your millage rate. And in layman's terms, that means we're lowering your property taxes, the money you have to pay back to the city for your property. A lot of people think that it's chaos up here. A lot of people think it's turmoil. Well, I beg to differ once again. We're getting things done in this city that have never been done before. And I am just thankful that we're able to do it. And I'm very proud of this moment. Despite the turmoil, city manager, despite the issues, city attorney, we're managing and we're getting it done. And I just want to thank the entire staff for making that happen, as well as this team up here. And like someone used to say, teamwork makes it happen. That includes the council, the mayor, all the department heads, and all the staff. So we're doing this together, and we are making history here together. So I just wanted to make sure I emphasize that for the tax-paying public, that they know their money is being well spent and saved up here.
I have an addition.
Councilmember McKenzie?
Yes, and I will say, in addition to what Councilman Carn said, it's an honor, it's a privilege to be a part of this historical council that is really working on behalf of the people and getting things done that we've never seen done in this city. I want to emphasize that we are able to roll this mill rate back to 11.608, and it's not going to jeopardize the budget that we have. So, and Mr. Latana is shaking his head, so we're still going to end up with over $1 million. That's if we spend every single dollar that we budgeted, and from what I can see already this year, in several areas, we are under budget. So it's looking like a great year ahead. And I just believe that when you put the people first, and that everything comes back to you greater. And I believe that is what we're also experiencing here in the city of College Park.
Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
That is unanimous amongst those present. Item B has been removed. I'm sorry. No, not item B. Is there a motion?
Where are we at?
For B?
So item B is consideration of an action on a special event permit from Iota Pi Theta Foundation, Inc. to hold a party of the polls to be held October 21st, 2024 at 4 p.m. until 7 p.m. at Charles E. Phillips Park. This item is requested by the Deputy City Clerk, Queenie Brown, and this event will be held in Ward 4.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Councilmember McKenzie. Is there a second? Motion dies for lack of a second. Okay. Thank you, Councilmember Carn. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move
I'd
to
have
a
a
vote.
discussion, yes, ma'am.
Councilmember McKenzie?
I didn't say it when the gentleman presented earlier today, but, this just to all of those that are listening, this is a very, very important election. Of course, I believe municipal elections are the most important because that's determining what your basic taxes are going to be, your water, your sewer, your safety, your police services. But in terms of the presidential election, it's so important. I'm hoping that as many people as possible made the deadline this past Monday to register to vote if you weren't registered. But if you're registered, registration is just one piece. The next piece is getting out to the polls. So I'm grateful that there's an organization that is here in College Park that's going to encourage us to get to the polls.
Councilmember Gay, I know this is in your ward. I just wanted to make sure you.
No, I'm okay with it.
All right, okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
That's unanimous amongst those present.
Item C was removed from the agenda, so we'll move to item 9D. Consideration of and action on a request to approve an ordinance which addresses deficiencies related to apartment, hotel, and motel regulations for the city of College Park. This request is on behalf of Councilman Joe Karn.
How is it legal for us to impede someone's ability to sell their property? City Attorney. It's section 8-110, prohibition of transfer. No responsible party may transfer any type of ownership to all applicable hotels, motels, and/or extended stay hotels during a city inspection or while any type of violation under this chapter is pending.
I don't see why it would be unlawful.
Are we I think we could face some challenges for that, but if you say it's all right, then okay.
And also, City Attorney, generally when a lien is placed on a property, there really can't be a sale, technically speaking. Is that right?
It encumbers the property. I don't know if it necessarily out and out prevents the sale, but I mean, from my perspective, I think that, Mayor, you're right. Someone may challenge us on that, and that is what that is. But I think that the intention is to be fairly aggressive on behalf of the citizens, residents, of College Park, and we may face a challenge. We vetted this. We like our chances.
And I do have some discussion on this item.
All right, is there a motion?
A motion.
Thank you, Councilmember Karn. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Gay. Councilmember Karn, go right ahead.
Couple of things. This essentially, overall, these policies, they give us, I guess, a few more tools in our tool case to deal with the blight and the situations and things that we deal with in our community. Now, I did hear in some public comments that that this was a rash and rushed process and so on and so forth. This in no way was a rush process by any stretch of the imagination. We have had more public input regarding these issues than just about anything I can recall that we continuously have had public input about over the last 16 years. This ordinance was attempted several times before over the years, actually, and should have been implemented a long time ago to raise the standards in terms of quality of life in the city of College Park. The only reason this ordinance was not implemented years ago is honestly because we didn't have the votes up here. The desire was not up here necessarily to raise the standards and raise the bar of acceptable living conditions in the city of College Park. This was not a rush process. This ordinance was a result of countless apartment task force meetings, staff meetings with city managers. These task force meetings included all interested parties and all of our stakeholders. They included the police department. These task force studies and meetings included our fire department. They included our code enforcement department. They included our business license department. You know, several years ago, we discussed this, the motels and apartment standards. Years ago, I would have apartment managers meetings, and we discussed the very same concerns that we're finally getting some codification and hopefully getting some policy on over the years here. So I'm definitely proud that we're doing this. There are a few additional pieces that I would like to add that I think will put some teeth to this. And I know, City Attorney, I was out of town, and I understand it wasn't time to add these in here, but I would like to make the approval with these additional pieces here that I do have, and I have some of them here on this sheet here, but I want to make sure that, if there are no objections, that some of these things are added. And these are options that we would have in terms of tightening things up to make sure that our motels that are unacceptable or apartment complexes are substandard, that they're not going to be able to operate in this city, the same as other cities. Within Fulton County, some of our apartments and the quality of our motels, if they were in any other city, it would have been condemned within about 60 to 90 days.
Absolutely.
So my question has been, why has this been acceptable to us? And the answer is it's not acceptable as far as I'm concerned. The additional pieces I wanted to include, in addition to the insurance coverage requirements, and again, these are for these businesses, apartment complexes that are 40 years and older, as well as our motels in particular. In my opinion, these types of entities, I would say, are considered to be high-risk businesses. And I don't just say that pulling the rabbit out of the hat. I look at them as high-risk businesses because of the facts on the ground. And that's based on the public life safety track record of these type of enterprises. The various factors regarding police calls for service, fire calls for service needs, overall risk and loss exposure for the city, and countless code enforcement violations on top of that. Also, I'd like to add, and City Clerk, I'm going to give you some of this language here as we move along, but it'll be in the minutes here. In addition to the insurance requirements in terms of insurance provider information for our motels in particular and apartment complexes, we want to have the lender's information as well. And that's from a lender or financial institution. And here's the reason why, and this is my thinking on this. Going after these entities requires getting to the owners of these entities, which is sometimes difficult. Now, you have an owner on paper, and that owner may live in Georgia, that owner may live somewhere else in the U.S., that owner may live outside of the country. That's the owner on paper. But the fact is, most of these entities, the motels and apartments in College Park, technically that owner is not the actual owner, because most of these entities are not paid for lock, stock, and barrel 100% and owned by the owner. The actual true owner of these institutions are the lending institutions or the bank. That's your owner as well until that note, whatever it may be, is paid off in full. So if we're going to contact the owner, we need to contact the owner, which would include the lending institution or bank. So we need that contact information for these entities, because with the number of problems that we get out of these entities, that's going to help us make sure we turn these entities around. In every lending document, in every bank loan document, there is language in terms of a commercial business loan that states you are to maintain these properties to the standards of the city, state, county, that they're contained there within. And if they're not kept up to those standards, then that banking institution or that lender can pull that loan. So we want the utmost effectiveness that we can use to make sure that these owners of these apartment complexes, if they don't want to do the job and keep the standards up to some decent level for human habitation, that we have options that we can pick up the phone and call that lender who is the true actual owner of that property and let them know of the issues of concern that the city is having. And that's pretty sure that's gonna make sure that those owners are gonna turn those properties around. At the end of the day, starting next year, I would like most of the policy in terms of derelict and blighted businesses to be two choices. Either fix them up or close them up. This is a request that I have gotten countless numbers of times from residents from all over this city. And we want to move forward and try to finally make a decision to clean things up in this city. And this gives us the ability to start to do that. Last couple of things that are added on here. I do want to look at a surety bond of some sort for our multifamily apartments in particular, those that we deem that are high-risk properties. Not all of them are. And city manager, you make that determination based on police reports, incidents, fire code enforcement violations, and so on and so forth. A surety bond is something that's approved here, and I checked with the state of Georgia. The insurance commissioner, John King, says that our cities, we can issue surety bonds. And he has that documented in some of his information. So we want to look at what type that we can form. This will be based on the number of current leaseholders and relocation cost that's to be determined by the city. So also, we want to add an application process for a waiver request of those surety bond requirements. Because we don't have all bad actors in terms of multifamily apartments. We have some great properties that are kept up very well. So we don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. But we want to clean these properties up, and we want to rid this city of some of this blight. So I want to make that motion with a few of these additions, which I do have here. And city manager, I think I have most of them here in this document here. Also, in terms of the insurance, I read the language here. So does that mean that we can require additional coverage if necessary, if it's, and have some standards in terms of what we need in terms of coverage?
I don't necessarily read it that way. Councilman, I think that the coverage that's mandated is coverage that's mandated. I don't know if we can tell them we have to get additional insurance.
Well, I would like to see if we can. There's several kinds of insurance, like vacancy insurance. There's some apartment complexes that half of the complex is vacant, for instance. Well, the nature of the coverage, in a sense. Now, it's a private property in one sense, but at the same time, in terms of reducing blight, we need some requirements that need to be, that if we can exercise them, I would like to put the possibility that we may require additional coverage if that's something that we can do. Vacancy insurance is one in particular that I was looking at. When you have vacant units, there's a different type of insurance coverage that you have for vacant units due to vandalism and so on and so forth, and neglect, mold, and deterioration that occupied units don't necessarily have to have, for instance. These are the issues that I hear week to week from residents in our communities, and they're asking me what it is we can do legally. So I want to try to explore every option. Now, anything that we can't do, obviously, so that's, I'll just leave it at that.
Councilman, I hate to throw a monkey wrench. You were on a roll, but would you consider adopting the ordinance as written, and then we bring these back as amendments to the ordinance at the next meeting?
Why not just have it?
I'd be fine with that, yes.
Why not just have it all together? Because some of this might overlap, and Councilmember Arnold gets an opportunity to weigh in on this. So why don't you go back, put everything that he's saying in there, so we can have a full, robust discussion about this, since we've got half of the representation of the majority of the apartment communities gone.
Well, Mayor, this is something that I don't think needs to wait, but City Attorney, that's a good idea. That will allow Councilwoman Arnold to add some additional things, and she probably has some other ideas of some different restrictions that we can add legally to make sure that we send the right message and we clean up this community. So, yes, that's a great idea.
I have a
But
comment.
most of this was-
Are
this
we
is
in
taking
discussion?
effect-
Point of clarification, are we in discussion now? Because I have not had a chance to say anything.
I will give you an opportunity in just one moment, Councilmember McKenzie. But most of this takes effect January 1st of 2025. So why can't we get Councilmember Arnold's input and actually have the full ordinance written out? Because I don't know where those amendments would go in there. We're sitting here talking about passing a new law and adding things in the midst of it. And so I think it's prudent for everyone who understands it, and everyone to understand exactly what's happening and what's going on in a way that we could probably remedy if that feedback is taken and then a full ordinance is presented to the council. But Councilmember McKenzie, go ahead.
As the Chief Executive Officer of Ignite Resource Center from 2019 to 2023, going to people's apartments, the hotels, seeing the living conditions. I don't experience it as much. We do have some situations in Ward 1, but I don't see it as much in Ward 1. But when I travel the rest of the city and I go into I've been into hotel rooms that have broken my heart to see babies and children, families living substandard in my city, and it's broken my heart. Something has to be done, and it needs to be done as soon as possible. Hotel rooms, apartments, even this Christmas, this holiday season, I was giving turkeys away at apartments throughout this city. And just seeing the way our people are living, seeing Saturday night, we were riding with Chief Rogers, going to these hotels, going to these apartments, been with the city manager since I've been on council. We've driven up Godby Road, Old National Highway, and you would think you were people were living in Little Vietnam from back in the day when there was a Vietnam War. I'm not talking about what it looks like now. Horrendous conditions. How can we, as a governing body, say that we care about our people and the quality of life, and we continue to just put things off? Oh, we'll put it off for another 3 weeks. We'll put it off for another month. We'll put it off for another year. That's why we're here right now. That's why we're serving right now. Because it's time to be about the business of taking care of everybody that lives in the city of College Park. We have people that are paying $1,200 to live in an apartment that really they shouldn't even be paying $50 to live in when you look at what it's done. So something has to be done. I hear what the city attorney is saying. I'm of the mindset that we move forward with this ordinance. Again, if you have not experienced what almost 50% of the people who live in this city are experiencing, the 50% of that 75% that live in hotels and apartments, then I just think you should be quiet. Because until you have gone into that hotel room, until you have gone to that apartment, until you have sat in somebody's apartment and had roaches running over your feet and rats and seen holes in the walls, and they're up to date on their rent, you shouldn't say anything. It's time to be about the business. Let's take care of this. Let's move forward. Let's be about taking care of our people.
Thank you, Councilmember McKenzie. So I do think that there are differing perspectives on this, and I think it's important that when we issue legislation, when this body says that we are creating new laws, that we do that in a thoughtful manner where everyone understands what's happening and it's laid out in front of us. Because I certainly, as Mr. Denmark said, we could face legal challenges over why do I keep talking? Because I think this is really, really important, Councilmember McKenzie. But Councilmember McKenzie, I think it's really important for us to get this right. Okay. And I appreciate your questioning about why I'm speaking, but this is a vitally important issue to our community. And the introduction of the amendments to this ordinance, when we put it out to the public, when we've had time to examine it because it has been in front of the public, and now we get an entire list of things that are different that we're just going to shove in somewhere, isn't a good way to make policy. We have the opportunity to get input from this entire body. Why would we not want Councilmember Arnold to weigh in on the entirety of this ordinance? As I said, this is taking effect January 1st, 2025.
I'd like to make a comment.
I'm not finished, though. Thank you.
I'm a legislator, and I'd like to make a comment.
Councilmember McKenzie,
I'm
I will
a
call
voting
on you.
legislator,
Councilmember
and I'd
McKenzie,
like
I would
to
ask
make a
that you
comment.
not interrupt me, and I appreciate the opportunity, but and I will acknowledge you in just one moment. But we have the opportunity to scrutinize this, like one of the email comments said, talk about it in a workshop and get it right the first time. We're going to have to go back to put this other stuff in. Why not just get it right from the start? Councilmember McKenzie?
The situation in our apartments, in our hotels in College Park did not just happen this year. This is something that has been evolving in a negative way over the past several years. My question is, why hasn't this been, I don't need it answered, it's a rhetorical question. Why hasn't this been dealt with before? I think I heard Councilman Karn clearly say that he did not have the support. The support has not been here to support those that are amongst us that are living in conditions that could be improved. We also find that persons that living in a lot of our motels and the apartments, they do not participate in College Park in terms of events that are going on, voting, because what is College Park doing for them? So all I have to say is that we can talk, we can put things off, and I'm not going to say anything else after this, but we need to take care of our people. I am not voting, I am not even thinking about voting tonight to accept the changes to the ordinance. What I heard clearly from the attorney is that we're voting on what the public has been able to see that is in the packet. We're not making any changes. People have had the opportunity to see this. Any changes that are made or any amendments that are made will be made after tonight.
And City Clerk, I'm modifying my motion to include the current document in front of us without the additions, which we will put amendments on later at some other council meeting.
That was your motion. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
That is unanimous.
The next item on the agenda is former consent item 8I, which is consideration of an action on a request to rename the auditorium Keith James Auditorium. This item is sponsored by Councilman Joe Karn.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Councilmember Karn. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember McKenzie. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, the motion passes with Councilmembers Karn and McKenzie in favor and Councilmember Gay abstaining.
City Manager, I guess at some point, probably want to get with Mr. James and figure out arrangements in terms of how we do this, and assuming he may want his family in, coming down or from out of town or whatever have you, but okay, well, I'll leave that up to you all to take care of that. Is Michelle here? Okay, all right. Okay, so I guess y'all got it.
The next item on the agenda is the city attorney's report.
No report this evening.
The next item on the agenda is the city manager's report.
Okay. Okay, on the screen is a newly branded City of College Park bi-monthly managers report. This is the 27th edition, and it contains support from all department heads, such as police, fire, public works, water, and sewer, power, the GICC, and Gateway Arena. Our department heads, senior managers, entry managers, and a few contractors summarize their department, highlight key metrics, budget expenditure, public benefit, and the like. We have been archiving this particular report in our strategic performance report section of the city website, but we're changing the name as of tonight to City Managers, bi-monthly City Managers Report. And this is the 27th edition. And even when I was entering, I was doing this report. And this is the 27th report. And my team has added a table of content, and we will post this on the Facebook page, city website, and clearly going forward, we will allow the public to sign up to receive this report for free. And I understand that the public would like more details on the business of the city, and if you read this report, it goes into details and will show you what is actually being achieved every bi-monthly, twice a month. The report is there, and I thank you, Mayor, and I thank you, councilors. And I have another write-up that I'll read, and then we move on. I'd like to take this moment to thank all of you for being here. I'm deeply honored and incredibly grateful to be appointed as the new city manager of College Park. This is a remarkable community, one with a rich history, a vibrant culture, and a tremendous potential, as I've always said. I am thrilled to have the opportunity to work with all of you as we continue to build upon this city's great legacy. Gateway to the world, not just to Atlanta or the city. It's gateway to the world. First, I want to express my appreciation to Mayor, Council, and all the members of the selection committee for their trust and confidence in my leadership. I understand the responsibility that comes with this role, and I'm committed to serving this city with integrity, transparency, and dedication. And I know anybody that lives in the city can attest to my dedication. I work 7 days a week, 16 hours a day. To the residents of College Park, know that my door will always be open. I believe in the power of collaboration, which is my leadership style, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts, concerns, ideas. It is by working together that we will be able to address the challenges that we face and create new opportunities for growth, development, and prosperity. I also want to thank the city staff and department whose hard work and dedication keep this city moving forward every day. And from the last storm that we had, in 4 hours, we were able to cut all the trees, clear everything. We had over 2,600 households with no power, and in no time, Glenn, thank you, and thank everybody. We were able to restore power to everybody. So I thank all my department heads, and we are all working together. And as we move forward, my goal is to ensure that we focus on smart sustainability growth while preserving the unique character of our community. We will invest in economic development, and you can tell from what we've done in 6 West and some of the vacant properties that buyers have, that buildings going on every which way you turn. Support local businesses. We had a program yesterday, improve our transportation system and ensure that public safety remains top priority, Chief. At the same time, we will ensure that every decision we make reflects our commitment to equality, inclusion, and the well-being of our residents. In closing, I am filled with optimism about what we can achieve together. I look forward to rolling up my sleeve and getting to work alongside all of you. Together, we will make College Park an even greater place to live, work, and thrive. Thank you.
The next item is the report of the mayor and council.
All right, well, I want to thank everyone for coming out to my town hall on Monday. Enjoyed the opportunity to interact, and I was working on following up on a number of the questions that we got, and I think we had some questions about the status of the rock wall. I think we're working on that, and Dr. Adediran, when can we expect that the last inspection gets done so we can open it?
It should be the rock wall.
Dr. Adediran, can you speak in your microphone? Thank you.
The inspection was done, late July, right? And nothing, so I just want it to be looked over one more time. Not a full $4,000 inspection, but the experts to come and look at it. And once they look at it, it's ready to go.
So the rock wall was inspected by El Dorado. We had a list with recommendations, so I'm not sure who we want to follow back up with to review the recommendations.
The El Dorado will be fine, too.
Okay, so I think it was $4,000 for them to come back out. I haven't checked with them the current price, but that's what it was for them to fly out for the inspection.
Let's check with them and take a look at it, and once they give us the thumbs up.
Okay, so I'll contact El Dorado and go from there. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. We are looking at some parking issues and making sure that things are a little bit better on Walker in particular, and so I want to thank Dr. Adediran and the team for that as well. We had a talk from Trees Atlanta at the town hall, and great conversation about some of the opportunities that they have to not only plant trees in our community and partner with the city, but also work on invasive vines, which I would love for them to come and present at a workshop. And so I'm going to try to get that set up. I also, GFL Recycling came, and we had a great conversation with the folks who were there about some of the things that they want to see in a recycling program. And I know this is something that has been worked on for years between folks up here, between folks in the community there, and I would like to see that on the next agenda, on the workshop agenda, and I would like to invite GFL so we can have a conversation about that. I know that there were some concerns about them coming tonight, but I really do think that we got some good conversation, at least talk about what we can do. Not approving anything, but having that conversation. And so I also want to thank Georgia Municipal Association for coming as well, because they gave a great overview of the legislative session, also discussed the constitutional amendment that's going to be on the ballot for the entire state regarding a floating homestead exemption. I know that this body has not formally discussed that, whether we would opt out of that, but don't see why we would. But it is something that we need to consider and make that decision prior to March 1st, 2025. Want to congratulate the Promise Career Institute on a great ribbon cutting. It was a wonderful event and just makes my heart swell to know that we've got so many scholars right in our backyard doing amazing things who will have the opportunity to move forward with the knowledge and the creativity that the school will give them. And they are making partnerships by the day over there with various organizations in and outside of our community. And I'm so excited for everyone. I want to thank Fulton County Schools, Atlanta Tech, the entire Fulton County School Board for their support, because we can build a lot of things in this community, and we can have the opportunity to teach kids how to fix cars or how to park them. And I'd much rather see them go and move forward as entrepreneurs who are creating those small businesses and employing others and changing not only the pathways for their own lives, but that of an entire community. And we can do that. We can do that focused on those things as a team. I am lamenting Councilmember Arnold's absence, because that means that for the second meeting in a row, the residents of Ward 3 have not had the opportunity to have their representation here. This is something that can be easily resolved. We can ask. We can ask if everyone can make it. I don't know why that's not happening. It is something that is fairly basic to see if everyone can make a date. We can avoid that in the future, and I think every single person in this city deserves to have their elected representative present and have the opportunity for that person to be present. We set our meetings on the first and third Mondays of the month, and we have the entire meeting schedule laid out late in the fall for the entire upcoming year. We know when these dates happen. And things happen sometimes, but we're here to do the people's business. I think it's important that we keep on the schedule that we've had to ensure that not only our elected officials make it, but we're not inconveniencing our staff. I'm sure some of them had things to do this Thursday night. I know that some folks are traveling and doing other important tasks and want to be with their families, and it's disruptive. And it's not just about us. It's about this entire community and the level of consistency that we need to have in order to do the work, to show confidence, to show our community that they should have confidence in us. I think we need to redouble our efforts. And I want to take an opportunity to thank the staff on all levels, all of our frontline public safety professionals and everyone else for their work during the storm. Luckily, Helene went a little east of us, and please certainly keep your thoughts and prayers on those impacted by Helene more significantly, and of course the hurricane that hit Florida yesterday. But you can't help. You can help through tomorrow. The police department is still taking donations, and they are going to be taking a truck east of here, and they are taking all sorts of different items, and you can drop them off at the police station until what time tomorrow, Chief? Do you know, 5 o'clock or? 5 o'clock, till 5 o'clock tomorrow. So you still have an opportunity to go grab items that people desperately need east of here. We want to thank Officer Gibbons for leading this initiative and Chief Rogers for fully supporting everything that he's trying to do to support relatives and loved ones in his hometown. And so please support. We know that you've got a big heart, and there's an opportunity and there's a need. So that's all I have. Councilmember McKenzie?
This is Councilwoman Janelle McKenzie from Ward 1 with my October 10th council report. I'm going to let you know some of the things that we've been up to over the past few weeks. Today is World Mental Health Day. This is a time that we reflect on the mental health of our society and also look at ways that we can improve mental health and reach persons who are struggling with these issues. On last night, I was honored to co-sponsor How to Do Business with College Park with my colleague, Joe Karn. We had over 100 vendors and entrepreneurs, business owners come out to find out how they could do business. We want to thank Ms. Liddell, who just started with us, for leading the way in this effort and getting our business owners informed. We're looking forward to seeing more business here in the city of College Park. On Tuesday night, I was inducted into the Regional Leadership Institute for the Atlanta Regional Commission. This was really an honor and a privilege, and I'm grateful to have served with 56 other classmates who are leaders in 11 of our counties here in Georgia. Looking forward, got my sleeves rolled up, looking forward to doing great things and bringing it back to College Park. Also had the opportunity to represent the city for World Women's Basketball Media Day for the SWAC convention. And that was a great honor and a privilege because we are, for the first time in history, SWAC is going to hold their tournament in the state of Georgia, and they will hold it here in College Park. As you also know, that we began to erect the pedestrian bridge, and we have the arches up, and there's more to come. Promise Institute opened up their doors with their grand opening as well, and we were able to attend that and to share with educators and community members throughout our region. We are so excited to have the Promise Institute here in College Park. We also, on September 28th, had a suicide prevention panel discussion, and we got into some really deep issues, and we're looking forward to doing more. Furthermore, I attended the She Soars Women in Aviation Summit that was held in Atlanta. This was important because we met so many women who are in the field of aviation, and being right here in the airport, that's important. And then this month, we also had the Aerotropolis Honors. Fantastic ceremony. For the first time in the history of Aerotropolis, there was an award given out named after our very own Jack P. Longino. Then we had the EVECE, a Walk for Life, which was really important because this has to do with mental health with Dr. Chris Edwards. And it was a privilege to give a proclamation to Dr. Edwards for the work his foundation is doing. On Saturday, we held our We Are Price Barbershop third community engagement meeting. This is wonderful. I'm so excited about what we're going to see, how we honor the original African Americans who were a part of the city of College Park through the Price Barbershop and the house that is adjacent to it. Great and amazing things to come. Now, with some Ward 1 updates. As you know, we are still in need of sidewalks throughout the city, and I'm happy to announce that we have begun the work to put the sidewalks from Oxford Walk going all the way to Washington Road. Keep watching us. We're making some serious progress around here. And then I reached out to several members of the community about recycling, curbside recycling. I want to hear from you. We want to know, do you want curbside recycling? Is this for us? Furthermore, our Hurricane Helene update, where we are so happy about the efforts that our emergency crews put together to make sure we got trees taken up. Kudos to our Public Works team and others. And then, just to give you an update on parking on Walker and John Calvin, we're working now to eradicate those issues.
And in my last 30 seconds, I just want to give an update which was made since that video. This is from Chief Connie Rogers. We have been working with residents on Walker Avenue as well as John Calvin. John Calvin, there's still some more steps that we have to go through, but we are going to be painting some of the curbs so that we can deal with the parking issues. Chief Rogers wanted me to share with you tonight that regarding the residential parking on Walker Avenue, moving forward, that our residents can elect to go on the city's website and print the application or stop by police headquarters, which is 3717, 3721 College Street. You'll be able to get a copy from H1, and what you'll do is you'll complete an application and you'll bring it to police, which shows that your proof of residency, and you'll be able to get a parking permit. We've been having issues with parking. We don't want to have any of our residents on Walker Avenue being towed. So this way, if we have parking permits, you'll also at that time be able to get a permit that lasts as a 2-year permit. And if you have guests that are staying with you, we have some 15-day permits that are going to be. So I want to thank, today we met with the city manager. It was Chief Rogers, myself, and some other persons from department. We had, I think we had Moody's there, and we had Jerry, code enforcement. And a very, very productive meeting, and we're just grateful for all of your help. Peace out.
Councilmember Carn?
All right. Impressive. City Clerk, would you run my video up there? Oh, I forgot, I don't have one. Councilman Gay, I think you and me, I guess we're going to have to step up our game. I want to thank everyone for coming out, that came out last night to our How to Do Business with College Park event. It was well received. City Manager, I want to thank you and staff that took the extra hours to come out and reach out to residents and business, local owners. I have been getting calls all day about how important that was to them. It was an eye-opener to these new business entrepreneurs. They had never had a city open their doors and go through and walk through the process of doing business with the city before ever. Folks, we are doing some new things in College Park in 2024. And we're coming to the end of the year, but we're just getting warmed up for 25. We are just getting warmed up. There is so much that we can do in this city, and that's getting done. The past 9-10 months have really been impressive, despite what you might hear out there from the naysayers. This city is getting it done, and I have never been more proud of what I see every corner I turn around. Ward 4, and we got some improvements going on. Every time I turn around in Ward 4, Councilman Gates got a project going. I looked around the other day, I saw bulldozers somewhere working on some stuff, and I said, man, boy, he's building a whole new city. But very impressive stuff, long overdue stuff. So it's been a very, very good year. City Manager, I don't know how you've been managing all of this without pulling your hair out. Fortunately for you, that's not a problem. So one less thing to worry about. I want us to make sure we get some solid coverage on this. I know now we're going to Augusta, is that right, Chief? Louisville. Louisville, Georgia. Okay, City Manager, I want to make sure communications, the Louisville area, their delegation for that county, the governing delegation, state representatives, we want our state representatives to know that we're reaching out beyond our borders, and we want that delegation to know that we're coming with a truckload, is that right? Truckload of supplies, and we want to help. There's some things that go beyond College Park's borders, and we want to make sure our state representatives and state senators in particularly know that we're outreaching beyond our borders. So let's get some, we want to get some solid coverage on that and make sure that people are aware of the good things we're doing in College Park. So we want to make sure communications is reaching out to that delegation, and we make it official that we're coming to help out. You know, we talked about a level of consistency up here, and that is necessary. And that's something that we absolutely have to have. And that level, in my opinion, is to really advance our policies to the pace of the challenges in front of us. We got to step up and raise the bar, in other words. And that means that, we've got to not just speak out about things or against something, but we have to act. We have to respond. And at the end of the day, I just think that that's what it's about. Because, folks, that's what government is for, to protect the people and put laws in place to protect us and better our quality of life. That's what we're doing up here. And I don't want to slow down. I want to make sure we get this done, and I don't want a week to go by that we're not making progress to make sure we're raising the bar. And we're going to continue to raise the bar. And I want to push as hard as I can to make sure these things happen and get these things done as much as we can. City Manager, I want to definitely, I know we talked about working on the Phoenix Trail improvements. We want to get some of that kudzu off the walls and get some of that stuff cleared up and straightened out. There are a multitude of other community projects that we have to work on that we are currently starting to embark on. The storm damage at Willis Park, it was considerable. So I want us to get together and get with, I guess, Public Works and do an assessment down there. I think we're going to have to maybe get some help in there to get things back up to par. I've got a fast approaching Fall Festival Halloween event at the park, so I want it looking like brand new. Also here at some point in time, we need to start to put together our state legislative agenda for the upcoming legislative session. So we want to get that together. We have some priorities, but there are a lot of other things, and I've seen some of the bills that are going to be dropped that we want to definitely promote and support that'll be advantageous to our residents. So we want to start on that and get that going. We've got good solid lobbying bench to help out with that. Folks, we're moving forward, and we're going to continue to move forward into the holidays here. Chief, we want us to double our efforts in terms of patrols as the fall season comes, holiday season. We know sometimes some people will take advantage of that in not a good way. So we want to make sure we're double diligent to make sure that we're patrolling additionally and looking out coming into this holiday season. That's all I got. Thank you all so much.
Councilmember Gay?
Mayor, I don't have anything this evening.
All right, thank you. Do we have any executive session tonight?
I'd like to make a motion to go into executive session to discuss personnel.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we'll head into executive session, discuss personnel.